Hi, and welcome back to Wicked Ones Tarot. My name is Carmen, and today we've got a reading for you about somebody who's trying to find the right words. Apparently, I'm struggling with them a little bit today, too. We've got the Nine of Swords and the Seven of Swords in the reverse, which is freaking out, anxiety, sleeplessness, because if I tell you the truth, if I tell you what really happened, if I tell you how I feel or why I did what I did, then I don't know how you're going to respond. So there's anxiety because I have to find the right words. I have to tell you something that I know isn't going to be easy. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime. I hope you're having a good day. Hello, P Controller. How's it going? If you would like a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedonestarot@gmail.com. It's in the description box below. And right below that, you can find information on how to join the membership. There's 3 different tiers, and I'm going to be posting some extra videos today for my members. So looking forward to that. Let's dive in with the Marigold Tarot and see what else we've got. Else. Wow. So I've pulled 3 cards total, right? So this is the 3rd one that I've looked at, and it is another Seven of Swords in the reverse, which 2 out of 3 ain't bad, right? Wild. So we've got another Nine of Swords too. Wild. It's in the reverse as opposed to being in the upright, so that's interesting. We also have the Tower and the Seven of Cups in the reverse. So in other words, I've pulled 6 cards, and 3 of them are the number 7 and 2 are the number 9. So those numbers could be important for you, but more core to the message is that there is a truth that somebody needs to tell. And when they speak this truth, when they get rid of whatever illusion they had kind of bought into or supported or even created themselves, they know it's going to be a sense of relief combined with probably some pretty serious consequences or a little bit of fallout. Hello, Danny. Hello, Deborah. How are you doing? Good luck with the sunburn, Key Controller. I hope you have some aloe. Death and Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. So perhaps a conversation about ending a relationship or no longer working somewhere, putting in your 2 weeks notice or firing someone. But this is a loss. This is something that someone would consider to be a change that was negative, something that, I mean, that makes sense, right? I'm not really excited to tell you what happened because I know it's bad. I know you won't want to hear this. What else? King of Cups in the reverse and the High Priestess in the reverse. Ace of Wands in the reverse. So I do feel like there's an argument that somebody had not really wanted to be honest either during or about. There's secrecy and someone being like elusive. I think this is, I don't want to talk about why something had to end or why something changed or why something was lost because I'm the reason, because I know I did it. I started an argument, that's why we broke up, or I, didn't do my job right, so I got fired. But if I talk about what happens or what happened, then I have to deal with accountability. That sounds awful. They don't want to deal with it, right? But they know they have to. Maybe they don't feel like they have a choice. King of Rings or King of Pentacles. Nine of Cups, Empress in the reverse. It feels to me like we've got somebody who is confessing or, admitting what really happened, because it's like, I owe it to you. I owe you the truth. Like, I know that's really just all you want. So even though it might be difficult for me to admit it, even though it might be difficult for me to say I was manipulative or I wasn't very kind or I was extremely, selfish, I have to do the right thing. So there's a sense of obligation here. This is the What's the News deck. Did I say hello to Deborah? Hello. Hello, Laura. Hello, Robert. Hello, Corey. Hello, James. How's it going? I know, isn't it adorable? I do love the puns. I also actually met Willie Nelson once in Mount Pleasant, Iowa. Shout out to Katie. And RIP to Lennis, who are the reasons that I got to meet Willie Nelson. But it's not like we became like besties, okay? Like we would have if we'd had the time. But it's more of like oh my God, you're Willie Nelson. You're like right here. Hello, Tiana. That sounds amazing. You're making me want to go to Waffle House. So we've got Frenemy, Paranoid, and Chained. I know you expected me to do something that a friend would do, but in fact, I was operating with other intentions. I wasn't thinking about you when I did what I did. This Paranoid card, though, is very much so that Nine of Swords energy, right? I have tried to keep this secret, or I've, hidden this from you. I just feel like it's only a matter of time before you figure it out. And I do think we have somebody that is feeling stressed in part because keeping this secret is really difficult for them. It's like when I get somebody a really great Christmas present, I suck at keeping that secret. Like I can't really do the buying gifts in August thing because there's no way I'm going to make it until Christmas. That's like, when you get the Girl Scout cookies and they have an expiration date of September, but they sold them to you in February. Like, okay, whatever, Mallory. We both know that shit ain't last until September. This is somebody who's like, I just cannot continue to lie about this. It's weighing them down. They feel like they have to say something. But I think this is going to come as a shock to somebody. It's like, okay, so, I thought you were mad about one thing, but now it looks like there was actually a totally different situation going on. It's like someone tells you there's a whole other level to some social dynamic that resulted in multiple people arguing. James, that's awesome. Hello, Illuminati. How are you doing? So we have puzzled, confused, perplexed, conflicted, wine and dine, courtship, consistently dating, romance and passion, and chained. Chained is clarified by SOS. Distress, act with urgency, and assistance needed. So I did something because I feel like this is somebody who gave in to temptation and dated someone they shouldn't have. I shouldn't have because maybe you dated them before, or you warned me, or, you can't stand this person. There's some reason why it's a big deal that they dated someone. So let's put some names on this, shall we? We've got the friend is the King of Pentacles. Remember, genders don't matter in tarot. This is just energy. So this could be anyone, but this King of Pentacles is somebody that is hearing an update probably on why there was an argument, why there was, somebody being a little bit overly emotional about something and it didn't make sense. they're explaining that basically there was probably a little bit of sneaky link action that could complicate it or did complicate it, and that's why they reacted the way they did. This is the Wild Reflections. Hello, Selena. How are you doing? What else do we have? The Fool. 9 of Cups. 9 of Swords again. Wild. So I went after something I shouldn't have. I was only thinking about myself, but I know that you really need to know what's going on. I've just been putting it off because this conversation, I know it's not going to go very well. Again, number 9 seems to be important. Hello, Bumface. How's it going? I like it. Bumface. I don't think I can tell everybody my band name ideas because they're super inappropriate. But maybe someday I'll tell you. What do we have? Or maybe I'll put it on one of my member live streams. So we've got Page of Swords, 8 of Swords in the reverse, and a King of Pentacles in the reverse. I feel like so you are probably the King of Pentacles, or the King of Pentacles might be like your partner, for example. But this King of Pentacles is the person that's getting the update, getting the information. And I feel like it's because there was something else you heard. So if you had a conversation, or if there was some, kind of confusing event that happened in a social context, you got some sort of information, or like a little bit of gossip, or somebody suggesting to you that maybe you needed to talk to the King of Cups in the reverse. King of Cups in the reverse is the person that is needing to confess something. This made you feel like you had a little bit more of an understanding as to why things escalated. Why did it get out of hand, right? With the 8 of Swords in the reverse, it's somebody's blindfold coming off, starting to see that maybe there was something that your intuition already was kind of picking up on when these things happened. And it's about this King of Pentacles, probably you, friend, not necessarily returning that loyalty or that friendship, whether this is a romantic connection or a platonic one. This is the Earth and Bone Oracle. What else do we have? Hello, is it Flittertail? Hold on, I'm too far away. I think it's Flit of Tallow. How are you doing? I just watched Pretty in Pink like maybe a week ago. That's too funny. Oh, I just had this card come out the other day. So we've got Beloved and Apprentice, number 24 and 4. Love, relationships, reciprocity, union, and intertwinement, and higher education, knowledge, beliefs, and wisdom. So there's something that I'm starting to believe is the reason why an argument happened, or why perhaps a breakup happened, or an end of a friendship. And someone's providing more insight as to what actually happened. A little bit of like light bulb going off, right? And it's about a friend or somebody that probably should have been a little bit more loyal to you. They're going to tell you that they did something. We have rebirth, nonconformity, new approaches, and unconventionality. You don't expect this person to tell you what they did. This is not how they normally act. This is the Gilded Reverie. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Hey, Bitchy Tata, how are you doing? Wow, okay, that's crazy. So I just pulled the Serpent from the Earth and Bone Oracle, and now I've pulled the Snake, or, Serpent, from the Gilded Reverie. I would also point out this is the 7, which ties in nicely with the idea that the 7 of Swords represents dishonesty. Or trickery. So we've got somebody who normally is reliable, normally tells the truth, normally is considerate, but they are not in this situation. There's something that they did and it's caused an ending or a problem because they were dishonest to suit themselves, to do what they wanted to do. So this is probably a hookup. Like I said, sneaky link. Oops, probably shouldn't have done that. They might have claimed, or they might claim now, that because the connection was so new, they didn't want to jinx it by telling anyone what was going on. But for others of you, what I'm seeing is this person is embarrassed because there's a big age gap here. I'm not picking up that this is like illegal, so we don't need to like worry too much about that. But I do think that there is for a percentage of you, a parent that is starting a new relationship after a divorce, telling an adult child that their new partner is about the same age as their child. Adult child, right? So there's concern over, are you dating somebody that is like maybe not a good fit? And this is such an uncomfortable conversation for them. Maybe this person was seen out on a date with this person, and that's why it's not really easy to lie about it anymore. This could be, for some of you, the reason that a marriage fell apart. We've got the Garden, number 20, and the Mice, number 23. I definitely feel like there is a loss of friendship, or people are questioning whether or not they still want to be connected to this person. And I feel like it's because there was like no consideration for somebody's like marriage partner or like romantic like relationship, or a professional expectation. It's legal for you to, hit on somebody who just graduated from the school you teach at, because, whatever, they're not your student anymore and they're like, in their 20s. But at the same time, like, should you? There's something here where it's like, people don't really like that you did that. Because it's not respectful of general societal norms or expectations, or literally somebody had like a contract involved, right? Like rules for work. Hello, Third Eye. How are you doing? We've got fourth chakra, Archangel Raphael, and anxiety, number 38. Freaking out because I know I have to tell you the truth, and if I'm honest about it, you're probably going to judge me. They know you're going to judge them. That's the real thing here. It's like, okay, I'm trying to tell you the truth. I'm trying to be like, not secretive, but are you going to be a jerk to me? Sounds like Maybe? I don't need a magic 8 ball for that one, you guys. What else do we have? This is the noisy tarot, by the way. Page of Cups in the reverse. Knight of Cups and the Hierophant in the reverse. Yeah. I feel like this is somebody who decided they needed to wait until a particular time. This could be wait until I'm actually divorced, or wait until I'm not your boss, wait until I'm not your professor, right? And then we can, you know, hang out. Might be that it's more like then we can actually like tell people. Got Page of Wands and the Star. In other words, there were maybe some decisions that were not the best, went back on somebody's like contract at work or their marriage contract. But I feel like for the majority of you, this is somebody who's like, I just want to like wait until this is not a problem and then I can pursue you. Star in the reverse. Yeah. So this is back to King of Cups in the reverse, is explaining what happened or what's going on to the King of Pentacles. Again, this could be like an adult child of theirs. This could be a close friend, a former coworker, or even an ex, I suppose. But this is like, I know when I tell you this, you're going to probably be mad, but I can't help it. I just feel like this person is like my soulmate. King of Cups. Eight of Pentacles in the reverse and the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, I think this is somebody who is potentially quitting a job or waiting until a divorce is completed and then they are investing in somebody new. Page of Swords in the reverse. They kept it hush-hush because they knew Queen of Swords in the reverse, everybody would have an opinion, a negative opinion about these two dating. Chariot in the reverse. And there's this concern, if we talk about it with others, is it just going to create arguments within our relationship? Also, I'm sorry if it bothers people when I crack my knuckles. Like, I don't even really think about it anymore. But, you know, it's obnoxious. I'm sorry. This is the Black Tarot. What else do we have? Two of Wands in the reverse, the World in the reverse. So there's an unexpected, maybe putting in 2 weeks notice, or unexpected marriage being, ended. This World in the reverse, Two of Wands in the reverse, this is like somebody feeling like everyone looks at them like they made a dumb decision. Like, I didn't think you were going to quit. I thought you loved your job, or I didn't think you would move. I thought you loved it there. I didn't think you would leave that marriage. It seemed like you were, content. This person's like, no. I know what I want, and it has nothing to do with that. I'm going to go after what I want, which is a relationship with somebody that apparently they get judged for. Knight of Spheres or Knight of Pentacles. Two of Spheres or the Two of Pentacles, and wow, and the Chariot. So I do think this person was pretty patient. Waited for the right moment, didn't want to put at risk their obligations. So in other words, I do think that they waited until it made sense. I'm thinking of Anne Boleyn not giving in to King Henry VIII until they were married. If you know, you know. This is like red light, green light. This is, nope, you cannot do that. There's a rule or there's a promise or there's an obligation. And until that is no longer a thing, I'm not going to move forward with this. Moon in the reverse, but there's still some secrecy here, a sense that, you know, there is definitely some lust or like passion. Probably cause this person to be a little bit irritable. We have another 9 of Swords and the Ace of Wands in the reverse. So yes, there are people that are judging this King of Cups for pursuing a relationship instead of this job or instead of this obligation or marriage. Hello, Voyager. How are you doing? But for them, they look at it as, I can't miss this opportunity. This feels like what, you know, I've been waiting for. So to them, this is worth it, right? 6 of Cups and the 6 of Swords. Yeah, this kind of feels to me like we've got a person that feels like they're able to be free or explore, or there's something they've always wanted to do that they can do when they're with this person, or this person makes them feel alive. All of that. If I'm honest, it kind of comes through as a little bit of like midlife crisis energy, right? Like I've spent all my time doing this, I've spent all my time doing that, or I've lived for other people, or I've worked really hard. Now I want to have like a little bit of time to myself. Now I want to like sail around the world. They have these plans and that's what they want to do. And I feel like it's family or maybe friends are like, what are you doing? Okay. Are you okay? Is everything fine? They don't expect this person to say what they say. This is the situations deck. Hello, Miss Princess. How are you doing? Triggers and threatened. So there's a name, a car, or a place that triggers some pretty not great memories or responses. Yeah, I feel like this is the age thing. I know when I tell you what's going on or when I tell you the truth, you're going to be a little bit like, medium, right? Not happy, disapproving. Hello, Rachel. How are you doing? So we have come together, reconciliation, spiritual union, soul contract. And today, having a conversation because now that the divorce is final, or now that I don't work there anymore, or now that I've moved somewhere else, now I feel like it's time for me to tell you what's really going on, because previously I had to be more secretive about it. So this is for whoever is the King of Pentacles. This is the realization of, oh, okay, so that is actually what's going on. I thought it was just like gossip. Nope. They're going to tell you, yeah, actually, no, that's true. That's what's been going on. Sorry. Hello, Upper Echelon. How are you doing? All right, let's see. Let's see what's going on for the person that the King of Cups is pursuing, because I feel like this is all about the King of Cups and like maybe friends or family that might judge their decision. But I think they'd all be curious to know if the King of Cups is dealing with somebody who's genuine. Intuition, heart song, telepathy, inner knowing. Depth, awareness, importance, value. And running, ghosting, disappearing, invisible. So this is somebody who does have, I think, emotional intelligence and, more of the like more broad intelligence. There's a lot of shared interests or perhaps really good conversation between these two, not just that like passionate energy, right? But this person does have a tendency to run, and I'm picturing uh, Julia Roberts in Runaway Bride. Interesting. So maybe she always has tennis shoes, or he. With John, single, lonely, solitary, silence, frozen, no words, stonewall, and heart fog, mixed signals, blocked emotions, messed up. So while I do feel like there is a genuine connection between the King of Cups and their love interest, I do think there is a tendency to self sabotage that the King of Cups may be unaware of. In other words, yes, I think they genuinely do have a pretty interesting or deep connection. But the King of Cups may be overestimating how comfortable their partner is with that long term commitment. Because it does feel to me like the King of Cups partner is somebody who might be a little bit more comfortable on their own. They may need to go, for some additional healing. Distracted, sidetracked, change, delays, divine masculine, yang, masculine energy, bluff, pretending, mask, exaggeration, and hoping, expecting, faith, and manifesting. I think the long-term intentions are pretty different between the two people. The King of Cups might actually be interested in a long-term relationship or feel like they're making this change and it's worth it, but the person they're making the change for may be like inflating their desire, like exaggerating their desire to be with this person long term. So they could be sacrificing a career or a marriage only to find out that that person's going to walk away from them. This is the Love Tarot. I asked the same thing. All right, what else do we have? This would be looking at the King of Cups partner as well. Playing games. This is a game to me, the way I'm acting, responding, and posting it to get your attention. Unblock me. I miss you and want to connect. Please unblock me, literally or energetically, so we can speak. I have a lot to say. I do think that there's someone from the King of Cups partner's past. So I don't have a name for this person. But the more than likely younger of the couple, right? They want something in particular out of this person, and once they get it, then they're done. But they also have someone from their past that they're still trying to connect with. So it feels to me like we've got somebody who wanted to see if they could get what they wanted from this King of Cups. Once they get what they want from the King of Cups, it feels like they are hoping to hear from someone from their past, and they will run to that person from their past. Have my kids. I want to have a family with you. I know you'd be an amazing parent, and I dream of the day I can experience raising a family together. So there could be some really long-term plans that the King of Cups has in terms of having a family together, living together, all of that. But their partner seems to be more of a short-term person. It's not very articulate. They're not thinking about long term, or at least if they do, they're not picturing this King of Cups in it. It must be written in the stars because you most definitely are my destiny. We belong together. This is somebody who feels a stronger connection to their partner than their partner feels for them. So I do think there's concern, probably based in reality, right? You're making this huge change for your life for somebody that may not be as serious about the relationship as you are, right? That's how the friend or family of the King of Cups may feel. Oh, really? That's just rude, man. All right. 10 of Wells or the 10 of Cups. And neither the angels in heaven above nor the demons down under the sea can ever dissever my soul from the soul of the beautiful Annabelle Lee. Yeah, it kind of feels like we got one person's obsessed with, well, the King of Cups is obsessed with their partner, but their partner is just kind of like, oh, you're cute. 6 of Candles. You are rich, respected, admired, beloved. You are happy as once I was. I don't think this King of Cups has been happy for a long time. They are ascribing a lot of their current happiness to this relationship, but I don't think they realize that the relationship they're involved in is with somebody who's probably trying to use them. I need you to introduce me to somebody, or I'm really interested in your sibling, or I'm actually trying to get, somewhere to live. Like, this is somebody who just feels like if they are connected to this King of Cups, like life will be easier, or that, it's fun for now. The Emperor, once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary, o'er many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore. I think there's going to be something that comes to the attention of the King of Cups regarding the past of their love interest. And it could be because of this King of Pentacles. Their friend, or maybe even somebody they're related to, is like, this doesn't really sound right to me. I don't like who this person is. So I'm going to just do a little bit of digging and see what I find on them, just in case they aren't who they say they are. And I feel like this information makes its way to the King of Cups. So it's like, before you really make this change, before you really make this, overall overhaul to your life, make sure you know who this person really is, because there's obviously something that they've lied about, right? So it turns out that we have 2 people dealing with this 7 of Swords in the reverse. First, we have the King of Cups needing to admit to a friend or family member, someone that they trust, that they are in fact involved with somebody that was maybe the subject of a little bit of a scandal or gossip, and maybe in fact the reason why they're making such a big change in their life. And then this King of Pentacles ends up finding information on the King of Cups partner that results in that partner having to be honest about something in their past that they lied about to this King of Cups. I hope you followed all that. All right, I'm going to leave it there. I love you all. Thank you for the likes and the subscribes, and thank you to the members. Did I say hello to Darnell? Hello. And I hope to see you on the next reading. Toodles.